Look at his face. Look at his satisfaction.
Kazuya has turned even more sinister.
Hey, I know you don't like your father, but goodness gracious. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy Iron Angel here. If you saw my previous video, I reacted to Panda and Kuma. You can see my opinions on them in that video, but I said in that also there that I'm gonna check this story so far. Which shout out to Brian Cox, by the way, great actor. But one of the reasons this trailer is gonna be good for me, and I said this last video, was outside of Tekken 7, I don't know much of the plot of Tekken because when I did play it, it was for the multiplayer. So I used to think that Eddie and Christy were father and daughter. Then someone told me that that's not true. I thought Jin and Kazuya were brothers. And so you see what I'm going at. It was a lot of things I didn't know. I just guessed, you know. So I didn't know Steve and Nina are mother and son. Somebody told me that. I was like, really? They look the same age. But I guess these games, they don't really make age them much, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe Nina has an ability. I don't know where she stays younger. But long story short, I don't know a lot of the story. And I can't remember what Tekken they first started to do story modes. Was it the first Tekken? I can't remember. Like I said, even back in the day when I played, like, you know, Tekken 1, 2, or so on and so forth, I never played for the story mode, so I don't know. But yeah, I am, when it comes to the story, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of connection Reina has with Heihachi, Kazuya, and Jin, because that trailer of her is interesting. But as someone who doesn't know much, let's see what we got here. And matter of fact, it's cool to see Brian Cox, though, for real.
Every single fight, no matter how big or small, has a story behind it. That's why when it comes to Tekken and the King of Iron Fist tournament, there's one hell of a story to tell. In Tekken 8, Jin Kazama will face off against his father, Kazuya Mishima, for the last time. Kazuya is threatening global domination, and since Jin is the only other person who possesses the devil gene as well, he may be the only chance the world has left. But how did we even get to this point? What the hell is a devil gene? Why do
you know what's funny about that? I have no idea about what that is. You see it in the game, but like I said, as a person who played multiplayer, I just thought it was a new move. I never knew it had a connection with something with the story. Excuse me. So I'm glad this is going to explain it.
Sons keep throwing has left. But how did we even get to this point? What the hell is a devil gene? And why do these fathers and sons keep throwing each other off cliffs? Well, it revolves around these three men. Heihachi Mishima, his son Kazuya Mishima, and his son Jin Kazama. When Kazuya was just 5 years old, his father, Heihachi, feared the boy possessed the devil gene, which is passed down through generations to the bearer's children. It allows the host to transform into a winged demon that possesses incredible strength and power. So, Heihachi did what any loving father would do. Threw Kazuya off this cliff to see if he would survive.
Good father, right?
And survive he did. Kazuya would spend the next 21 years training to become a deadly fighter. The hatred he harbored for his father fueling his motivations. Ultimately, Kazuya would defeat Heihachi.
Hey, look at them graphics, man. That's
King of Iron Fist tournament champion.
I remember them days.
In a moment of poetic justice, would throw his father off a cliff. Years later.
Oh wait, he did it before?
Kazuya has
look at that. He was so happy to throw him off the cliff. But I didn't know Kazuya did that before. I just played Tekken 7, like I said, and spoiler alert if you didn't know, Kazuya did that in Tekken 7. So there's a chance that Heihachi could come back? Because if he did it here, well, maybe this one didn't have lava. Maybe I didn't know there was a story mode back then, like I said. So maybe Tekken 7, he threw him in lava, so maybe he's like for sure going. But I didn't know Kazuya threw him over before.
Poetic justice would throw his father off a cliff.
at his face. Look at his satisfaction.
Kazuya has turned even more sinister.
Dang, I know you don't like your father, but goodness gracious.
But it brings us to the one woman who saw the potential good in Kazuya. Animal rights activist Jun Kazama. Together, they would have a child.
I never put two and two together that they were together. That they were a couple.
Puzzle. Jin Kazama. Jin grew up without knowing his father. And after tragedy suddenly befell his mother, Jin sought out his grandfather and would be trained in the Mishima fighting ways by none other than Heihachi Mishima.
Oh, wow.
Ever the opportunist, and knowing Jin possessed the devil gene, Heihachi would use Jin until ultimately betraying his grandson, shooting him at point-blank range in the face.
Goodness gracious.
However, death was not for Jin, and what would kill any other man would trigger what had laid dormant in Jin until that moment, and Devil Jin was born.
This is a messed up family, bro.
Since then, these three men have waged war against each other time and time again. This is until the most recent tournament, where Kazuya faced off against his father, Heihachi, for the final time by taking his life and throwing the body into a volcano.
Okay,
like only a Mishima.
I'm looking forward to it. I like that explanation. So, oh wait. Yeah, that explanation was really good for someone like me. So that's why I know I wanted to see that trailer. I said in the other video, but I didn't know I missed so many trailers. So I'm glad I checked that one out. This one was called Story So Far. But yeah, this is some family. It's like the fathers love killing their offspring. I mean, and then Jin goes to Heihachi, free Hachi to pull a bullet. Well, first let's back it up. He trains Jin to only betray him and then shoot him in the head. Like, goodness gracious! If I'm man, yeah, that family's messed up. I did not know what's her name in Kazuya was a thing. I never put two and two together, and then. To be real with y'all, I thought her and Jin were a couple because they had the same last name. But this so shows how much ignorant I am with it, because I didn't know last names or nothing like that. But when you hear, I never really heard Kazuya's full name or anything. I didn't hear anything. I didn't really pay attention to it. But I remember one time I heard Jin's full name and then hers, and I was like, oh, they must be a couple. Then I remember there was a scene a while ago, I can't remember what it was, where they were standing next to each other and like real close, and I'm thinking they're a couple, but I didn't listen to the dialogue at all. So this stuff like this is what I like, and yeah, it looks good. I like how they have the other characters, so it's gonna be like Infinity War, where it's like the monsters versus the hero. I like that, so I'm looking forward to a couple more weeks, and we're there. But I do want to revisit some of that story mode stuff of other games. I don't know if it'll be available. Like, can you play older Xbox games on the Xbox Series X? I have to find out. But anyway, we got a lot that's coming up. So Tekken 8 is in a couple weeks, so we're going to be busy with that. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm still trying to decide who I'm going to main. Right now I got 3 choices. Steve Fox, Azucena, and Reina. So we'll see. I know one thing. I don't want to use a character everybody's using And it seems like a lot of people are going to use Reyna. As cool as she is, I'm just not that kind of person. There's so many characters in the game. I would hate to be that one that's added that's thousands of other people use at the same time. You know, it's kind of like the issue I have with Mortal Kombat is that when you play online and rank, you play against the same 4 people, but they have a huge roster. And so I want to, use somebody that's not used a lot. So we'll see. We'll see, though. We'll see. I'm going to play the story mode first and get the hang of it, being a practice gym, all that stuff. So I got time to choose. But anyway, thank God for today. I'll see you later.